With that, I will take my seat, but before I do so, I will introduce a man who I have come to greatly admire and respect, and that is Governor Bob Wise of the Alliance for Excellent Education.
Good morning. I am Bob Wise, the president of the Alliance for Excellent Education, which is a nonprofit organization here in Washington, D.C., with the mission statement that every child should graduate from high school ready for college in the modern workplace and to take their place as a citizen. I want to stress and to go back over what we have heard, but I want to do it in this way: the importance of these leaders being gathered together. Let me read again the organizations that are here. Mexican American Legal Defense and Education Fund, the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights Education Fund, National Urban League, National Council of La Raza, Southeast Asia Resource Action Center, National Indian Education Association, National Association of Latino Elected and Appointed Officials, League of United Latin American Citizens, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the Alliance for Excellent Education is so proud to join. This is as important, the gathering of these leaders here, of these major national civil rights organizations, is as important as any summit statement that can come out. And they are here for a purpose. And the purpose of all of us in this collaboration is to make sure that high school students and their needs are met as the Congress considers important education legislation. Before the last school bus pulls away today from the most distant school, 7,000 of our citizens will disappear. Those are the 7,000 students who will drop out of high school. Well over one-half of those students are students of color. And when they drop out, in many ways, we all drop out, because we are all affected by what happens to them. For secondary school students, the inequalities are exacerbated because the federal dollars that are supposed to make up for the lack of resources in low-income communities, mainly Title I, but other programs as well, aren't there for secondary students. We have, for secondary schools at the federal level, what I call the missing middle. We know that the federal investment for pre-K to grade 6 is around $18 billion. This chart over here, you can see the one that has the orange line running way up to the top, not high enough, but running highest is $18 billion, and that's grades pre-K to 6. Jump over to the far right to you. You see the purple line running way up. That's higher education. That's around $14 billion of direct student assistance, Pell Grants, plus some other campus-based assistance, plus some TRIO and Perkins. Many of you in the back will have trouble seeing in the middle, because that's what secondary schools receive, roughly $2.3 billion each. We do not ask for any dollar to be shifted from where it's already working, but we do ask to recognize the needs of middle and high school students. And particularly at a time when we have 1/3 of our students not graduating from high school overall, much higher for students of color, and at a time when we have 1/3 of our students not finishing high school with the skills they need for college or the workplace, clearly we need to show a greater investment to meet those needs. And incidentally, as we have seen increases in our lower grades, showing investment works and commitment works, we still see a flat line in our middle and high school grades. The Alliance for Excellent Education has done an economic analysis and estimates that if we could get parity, if we could get the same graduation rate for children of color as for their white counterparts, by the year 2020 they would be contributing $310 billion more a year to the national economy. And so we come together as the Campaign for High School Equity. The federal government can help close this gap in the missing middle by providing the additional resources to support better quality schools and enhance support for students at the high school and middle school level. That is why my organization, the Alliance for Excellent Education, strongly believes in the goals of the Campaign for High School Equity. We plan to use every available opportunity to work with our partners. This is the right time. You've heard already from Congressman Danny Davis, who's been an active leader in this effort, and from Congressman Bobby Scott, who's been active in graduation rates. I noticed Congressman Elijah Cummings, whom we'll hear from a little later. Other leaders include Congressman Rubenina Hosa, who has been actively involved in what can be done to improve high schools. The chairman of the Full Education Committee in the House, Congressman George Miller, and his commitment to addressing high schools and dropouts, and so many others committed to taking it on. This is the time, and now these groups have come together to say it is the time. And so I want to thank each of the leaders here for the efforts you've made. Some of you have come long distances. Some of you have made great effort for working out what it is that the Campaign for High School Equity is about and what our agenda will be, and determined to work together for all children and so that every child may graduate. I would now like to invite, we will in just a moment ask other members of Congress to speak and as well as take questions and answers. But I would like to invite my colleagues gathered here, if we could gather together to sign the statement, which is, this letter, the Campaign for High School Equity will be sending to members of Congress stating our principles and particularly, if I could, the importance of the historic federal role in intervening on behalf of underserved students in education. If everyone would come forward and gather around in a tight circle. Actually, it would, okay, this would photo op first, signing later. Yeah, if everyone could come together. The good news is we don't have that wide a lens for this bigger group.
Go ahead. Move up. Start signing?
Yeah, why don't somebody
go ahead.
start?
Okay. Go ahead.
You got a pen?
I got it. Move out of the way. Can you see if I may need my glasses?
I know you're going to the campus.
Huh? There you go. Is that right? What time? Okay. Immigration. Is it 10 to 11?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Campaign for High School Equity is underway.
Yeah.